to Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Mustian. As we head into 2022, the Splash Live is your home for live and exclusive Greater West Bloomfield news and interviews. We're here to bring you the featured stories from local events and businesses to showcase our great community. The Splash Live is now daily from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99. We are also live on Civic Center TV under the live section of your web browser and mobile device. So join us as we take a look at what is happening around our Greater West Bloomfield community. We're going to start off with the Person of the Week QR code. Every week we highlight someone from our Greater West Bloomfield community that is making an impact. We will be taking submissions now for our Person of the Week through the QR code on the screen to submit an entry. You can scan that QR code on the screen and fill out the short Google form with the person's name, the reason that they should be recognized for the Person of the Week, and some contact information for them. These nominations can be anyone from educators, students, local businesses, or any other organization you think deserves to be recognized as our Person of the Week. We're now going to dive into our great community events that the Greater West Bloomfield community has to offer. The first one is the United We Walk event. This event was scheduled to happen this past Sunday to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but was canceled due to rising number of COVID-19 cases in Michigan. They will instead be urging the community members to volunteer around Metro Detroit to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. throughout the month of January and the rest of the year. They are urging people to volunteer at a couple of local businesses. The first one is the Focus Hope. They have volunteer opportunities in Inkster, Michigan. They're open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 p.m., and Friday, 8 to noon. The Hospitality House also has some volunteer and food donation opportunities. The Michigan Service Commission also has some opportunities to volunteer there. The Michigan Humane Society Pet Pantry, they are urging you to donate food for pets, and as well for the Grace Centers of Hope, you can buy a meal ticket for the homeless for $2.17. So some great foundations there to volunteer at to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Our next event is the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. They have started their virtual programming that includes a variety of interactive events for all ages. Some of those events this week are today. They have their 10:30 Terrific Tots program. This encourages a love for reading while joining the library staff for a language-rich story time. The story time kits are available to check out with the materials needed for each class during the session. This program is recommended for ages 1 to 3 years, and if you would like to register for these, you can go to the West Bloomfield Township Public Library website, go to the events calendar page, and if you find an event that you would like to register for, you can click on that and register through there. Our next event that is ongoing is the Sylvan Lake Game Nights. This event is perfect if you're looking for something fun to do this winter. Whether you go alone or with friends, the Sylvan Lake Game Nights are a great way to socialize safely with your neighbors and friends. Sylvan Lake Game Nights take place every Wednesday when there is not a Sylvan Lake board meeting in the community center. Game night starts at 5:30 and will go to around 9 p.m. at the community center. This event is open to all Sylvan Lake residents, and you're welcome to bring any family or friends. They will also be hosting a special euchre tournament today, Wednesday, January 19th at 6 p.m. sharp. If you're interested in participating, you can contact Amy DeCanter at 574-514-1919 to reserve your spot in the tournament. If you have an event you would like us to feature, you can send us a message on our social media pages at Civic Center TV and Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. We're now going to take a look at the fun happening on Wednesday nights in Sylvan Lake. If you're a Mahjong player or would like to learn how to play, head over to the Sylvan Lake Community Center to join your friends for a social game night. We talked to one of the members of the Game Nights, Feather Buchanan, about the event and how it started and how to get involved there. So let's go take a look at that now. If you're looking for a fun winter activity, join your fellow Sylvan Lake residents for some Mahjong and other fun games. Started by a few friends, the Wednesday night game nights expanded into the community center. We talked to one of the members, Feather Buchanan, about the game nights.
We started playing several years ago, and we've been collecting people along the way. I am one of those people. I basically have just started playing in the last several months, Mahjong, and it happened that a neighbor said to me, join us, and I went, I don't know about Mahjong. She said, no, come, and I did, and so did a lot of other people. We were playing at each other's houses, which was fine during the summer because we could be outside and, there'd be plenty of room. As we got closer to the fall and winter, we thought, what are we going to do here? We need to expand this. And we spoke with and the council at Sylvan Lake and John Martin, and they agreed that we could use the community center, which is absolutely fabulous. So we started right away in November. We play Wednesday nights, 5:30 to 9. We're in the big room, so there's plenty of room for lots of people to come, and also distancing if everyone has a worry about that. And the girls, our group is just keep growing and growing and growing. So we're very, very excited about it. We have also put game night, which is cards, board games, any kind of game anyone wants to play. And as far as friends that have played, this game night is very social. Everybody is just very excited about just getting together. We've been away from each other for so long, and this is just another opportunity to get the community back out and social and in a safe environment.
If you're a beginner at Mahjong, have never played before, or want to bring a different game, head on down to the Sylvan Lake Community Center on Wednesdays to socialize with your Sylvan Lake friends during game night. Reporting for the Splash Live, I'm Maddie Mustian. Sylvan Lake Game Night is the perfect way to spend Wednesday nights in the winter time. They have a beautiful community center there at Sylvan Lake, and if you want to play Mahjong or a couple other games, those are the great way to socialize with your neighbors. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll be joined by Catherine Ellerson, who is the Purchasing and Procurement Manager at West Bloomfield Town Hall, to talk to us about her job and how her and her staff members serve the residents in West Bloomfield. So don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll talk to Catherine.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Mustian. It is now time to talk to Purchasing and Procurement Manager at West Bloomfield Town Hall, Catherine Ellerson, who works to make sure that all of the residents in West Bloomfield are served in the West Bloomfield Town Hall. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Catherine.
Thank you for having me.
Catherine, can you start off by explaining your position in Town Hall as the Purchasing and Procurement Manager and some of your day-to-day tasks at Town Hall?
Sure. Again, my name is Catherine Ellerson, and I am the Purchasing and Procurement Manager here for West Bloomfield Township. I've been here, it will be 8 years in October, so it's been very exciting here working for the township. My processes here are pretty much the gatekeeper of all the purchasing here for the township, managing the purchasing policies, making sure that the processes are in place, do all the solicitations, all of the proposals here for the township, ensuring that the contracts here are done, properly, and making sure that the township are meeting all of the purchasing guidelines.
Catherine, could you tell us a little bit about some of those projects that you had your hands on in 2021 and maybe looking into the new year, some of those programs and projects here in West Bloomfield?
Sure, we have quite a bit. I'm currently in the town hall, so we have a lot of projects here where we've done a lot of renovations to the town hall to kind of bring it up to speed. It's unfortunate that, we're now dealing with COVID and we don't have a lot of the residents coming in like they used to, but I deal with a lot of projects. We just completed Fire Station 3 back in 2019. We are currently working with a new police station renovation. So we're working with that with contractors and consulting teams to ensure that we're following a lot of the purchasing guidelines here to try and get the new station up and going.
With these projects and renovations, how do you see, Catherine, that these impact the residents in West Bloomfield as well as the other staff members there at Town Hall?
Well, I think public safety is very important here for the community and for the residents. So we like to make sure that we have all of our buildings and all of our stations up to par to ensure that we can continue to be number one out there for our community, out there for our residents. So we try to make sure that we're setting up those sites and those areas that we can have, our 911, our police vehicles. We order, new fleet every 3 years, trying to make sure that we are on top of all of the public safety for the residents.
With the pandemic as well, you mentioned a little bit that West Bloomfield residents are not coming in to Town Hall as they normally would, but are there other things that the pandemic has shifted, whether that's in your position or that you've seen there at West Bloomfield Town Hall?
Yeah, the pandemic has, kind of halt a lot of things, which I'm sure many companies are experiencing. A lot of Zoom meetings as we're doing our meeting right now. There's not a lot of in-person right now. We have board meetings, which they just started this year where we're back, public insight in person. So that makes us feel good that it appears we're trying to get back to some sort of natural. We don't know. But as far as, our residents, a lot of them, as we mentioned before, just for safety purposes, they don't come out as much. We have a lot of events that, we have vendors come out and provide, different things for the residents to come and see. So a lot of things have kind of been minimized because of that, but we're hoping that at some point things are going to get back to where they used to be, if not where they used to be, at least to keep everyone safe.
And Catherine, with your position, if a resident in West Bloomfield wants to reach out to you to contact you about the purchasing and procurement here in West Bloomfield, how would they go about that? And maybe tell us about that initial conversation and the process of that.
Sure. Well, of course, we have our website, which is www.westbloomfieldtownship.org. All of our directors, our manager numbers are listed on there. My number, of course, is 248-451-4801. We also have on our website our emails, our contact information, and then our supervisor of the township, which is my direct supervisor, Steve Kaplan. He receives all phone calls. He makes sure that all residents have the contact person necessary that they need to speak to, whether it's the treasurer's department, the building department, but certainly our contact information is on our website, and certainly they can feel free to call us at any time.
As we wrap up, Catherine, is there anything else that you wanted to share with the audience, whether that's about the purchasing and procurement department there at West Bloomfield Town Hall or anything else that is happening in the township?
I just want to say that the township, of course, the residents, the community is our first and foremost with everything that we do. They're always on the forefront of our minds to make sure that they are safe and that we are selecting and that we're partnering with different companies and vendors that can ensure us that all of the projects that we do have out there, that those are the vendors and those are the companies that we need to ensure that our residents are safe, that we are doing the projects that are needed for the community to keep the community in the reputation that West Bloomfield have, to keep it up to par and just keep our community great as we do every day when we come to work.
Catherine, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Once again, I was joined by Catherine Ellerson. She is the Purchasing and Procurement Manager at West Bloomfield Town Hall. In honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day this past Monday, the United We Walk Foundation held a contest where they asked students in the greater West Bloomfield area, what does Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy mean to them? Reporter Calvin Brown has the answers from the winners, Ava and James, who explained to us what MLK Day means to them and how his legacy impacts them into their day-to-day lives. So let's go check out those answers by Ava and James.
This January, the United We Walk Foundation is celebrating MLK Day by holding a contest for children all around West Bloomfield, asking just one question. What does the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. mean to you? The winners for this year's contest were Ava and James. Let's hear their answers.
Almost 60 years ago, in 1963, Dr. Martin Luther King gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. He talked about what he believed in and why he marched and protested.
Dr. King's legacy means to me that I can go to any school I want to, be friends with anybody I want to, and have the same equal rights as everyone else.
Much of his legacy is so important because of what he did to change the lives of all people, particularly black and brown people. So when I think of Dr. King's speech, I hear him saying many reasons why his legacy affects me.
Dr. King made it so I can stand up for what I believe in, and I can be a voice for others.
Dr. King said that one day, children, including me, will not be judged by the color of our skin, but by our character.
As an African-American 9-year-old girl, I am already planning ways to leave my mark on this world.
I am one of the children who are living out his legacy in school with all my friends, no matter what color their skin is.
Dr. King risked his life so African Americans could have freedom and equality. I'm going to make sure I do my part by being a good person and treating others the way I would like to be treated.
The laws were changed and my parents can vote. I can get a job and do many things that my ancestors could not do because of the color of their skin.
Dr. King's legacy will live on forever and impact my life in positive ways. Thank you.
Thank you to Ava, James, and the rest of the competitors for all of your wonderful submissions. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Calvin Brown.
Thank you to the United We Walk Foundation for hosting the contest, as congratulations to Ava and James for their great entries and contest answers. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll talk to Iris Radner from the Friends of the Library to talk to us about their upcoming event on Tuesday, January 25th with a very special guest and how you can be a part of the event through the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. So don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll talk to Iris.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine.
To keep safe and strong.
Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Mustian. We are now joined today by Iris Radner to talk about their upcoming event on Tuesday, January 25th with Amor Towles, the author of smash hit A Gentleman in Moscow and the recently released New York Times bestseller, Lincoln Highway. Iris, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Next Tuesday at 7 o'clock, you can join the Friends of the Library for a webinar, a visit with Amor Towles. And Amor Towles recently wrote The Lincoln Highway, which has been on the bestseller list since October. I've been watching it, so we're really excited. We scheduled this meeting a long time ago, and honestly, I had some real reservations about doing it. We thought it would have been better if we could do it in person, but guess what? This was a way, way better idea. So if you'd like to join us, it's just a visit, and our library director, Kathy Russ, will be interviewing Amor Towles, and you can ask questions. We're very happy to do this. Actually, this is one of the things that the Friends of the Library sponsors. We sponsor things in the library, such as we bought the statue in front of the main library. We sponsor the puppet theater in the children's section. We bought the furniture on the patio, and lots of other things. We operate the Friend Shop, which is in, right now it's being expanded to offer more used books, which is very, very popular, and more merchandise. And it should be open soon. We keep saying that, but the way things have been going, it's kind of dragging along. But it looks almost done. And if you're in the library, take a peek. It looks really nice in there. We also sponsor programs. We do Music at Maine, which is a music program several times a year. We sponsor the book talks and What's Cooking. So, but our big thing is this meeting with Amor Towles, which we're very, very proud of. And we'd like you to join us.
And Iris, you talked a little bit about some of the programs and things that the Friends of the Library sponsors. Can you tell us how you got involved with the program and maybe a little bit about your role there?
I have lived in West Bloomfield since, I don't know, forever, since 1974. And the library was always this big part of my life. I took my children there and my grandchildren there. And when I retired, volunteering at the Friend Shop seemed like the most reasonable thing to do. So that's actually where I started. The Friends, if you're interested in doing anything, donating a couple of hours a week, we'd love to have you. You can just call the library. They'll send you to us. We're a very active group, and we like each other. So it's a fun group to be in. The Friends mission is to support the library's efforts to educate, empower, inspire, and entertain our diverse community. And we try really hard to do that. We also provide materials and financial support and volunteer opportunities, programming and advocacy for the library. And if you have lived in West Bloomfield for any length of time, you know that the library is kind of the crown jewel of West Bloomfield. We're really proud of what we do. Last year, we got a new library director, Kathy Russ, and when first time we met her, she asked us if we would sponsor this event. And when she did that, we knew that this was going to be a really great person to work with. And so far, we've been really lucky. So we'd like you to join us on Tuesday.
Iris, you talked a little bit about Amor Towles and the Lincoln Highway. Can you tell us a little bit more, if nobody has read the book yet, if they're looking to get involved and maybe register and sign up for the event? They still have time to read the Lincoln Highway. Could you give them a little bit of insight into the book and Amor Towles and the rest of the books that they have written?
You know, the Lincoln, I never knew this, the Lincoln Highway runs from New York to San Francisco. And it isn't famous because it doesn't run from coast to coast. It starts somewhere in the middle of New York, and it ends somewhere at someplace in San Francisco. But the story is not about the highway. The story is about people going along the highway searching for something. Amor Towles has this way of describing things that's just, it makes you think when you're reading it that I wish I could have thought of that. It's just really, really good at description, and it just pulls you in. You should read the book. He's written a couple of other books. One of them is A Gentleman from Moscow, which is a story about a Russian high living person who gets stuck living in one room in a hotel, and his world gets smaller and smaller. And again, Amor Towles has there's a vision of description that you wish you could think of yourself. So you should read his books. Maddie, you should read his book.
Iris, as we wrap up, would you just share how one would go about signing up for this event on Tuesday, January 25th, and if that's through a website or if they can contact someone there at the library?
You can contact someone at the library, but if you go online, just go to West Bloomfield Township Public Library, and there'll be a space that says Friends, and you can follow that link. It's pretty easy. So you should do it.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Iris. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Once again, I was joined by Iris Radner. She is part of Friends of the Library, sponsoring that event with Amor Towles on Tuesday, January 25th, to talk about his book, The Lincoln Highway, through the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. That's it for today's show. Thank you to Catherine Ellerson from the Purchasing and Procurement Office at West Bloomfield Town Hall, as well as Iris Radner from Friends of the Library, talking about that event on Tuesday, January 25th with Amor Towles, for joining us this morning. And a special thanks to our Zoom producer, Jared Clark, for coordinating the Zooms and making sure that all of our guests joined us on time. As always, thank you to Calvin Brown, our board operator, for making the show possible each and every morning. Thank you for joining me as we explored all the people and events going on in our greater West Bloomfield community. You can make sure to watch any of the interviews and stories that you missed by visiting civiccentertv.com to watch them online in HD under the Splash Live tab on our website. And as always, you can make sure to tune in live on civiccentertv.com on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99, Monday through Friday at 9:30 to 10 a.m. to catch up on what is going on in our Greater West Bloomfield community. You can also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Civic Center TV and Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Mustian. Thank you for watching The Splash Live.